using OBS and YouTube. And we're going to see what happens here. And it looks like it's going to get started. So I'm going to just kind of trust in that and check back on it. Hopefully we're going here. Okay. Well, this is my first attempt at using YouTube to stream content. So hopefully this will work out pretty well. What I'm going to be doing, Oloro, I wish I could mute that. As always, I mute Magic Online, still makes noise. Just the wonders of this horrible program. But anyway, so here's the deck that we're going to be playing with, and I covered some of the changes in the most recent video I uploaded, not live. Basically the primary stuff here is that our mana curve is a lot tighter, and we have a little more broken stuff in the form of Necropotence. And I think Moat in the Abyss could somewhat be considered broken, at least in terms of how they change the game. Let's see if we can get going here. Not a lot of people online right now. We'll get something happening here. Oh yeah, there we go. We got a bite already. So hopefully we'll get interesting games. Anything I can do about that noise. Post view, end view. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. Well, that's clearly a mulligan. And I always like to see what their commander is first. Azusa. So, I don't know if I want to keep this. If I get a second land, then the ability to rack away the Terminus and then draw it on a moment's notice is pretty powerful. And of course, a third land gets me an incredible amount of mana, but that's a lot of ifs, so I don't think I'm going to. All right, I don't want to mulligan any further. This has got playable cards. All I need is one white. So we're going to keep this. And we're going to see what happens. Maybe this is just one of those games where, oh boy, strip mine off to go. Huh? And can I do anything about that volume? Keep trying. So leading off with strip mine Life from the Loam. It's not good for me. But it might not be horrible. We'll see what happens. I think I'll go ahead and we're going to go tax, and then we're going to see if we can get out of this trap. On the positive side, I'm going to hit lands pretty regularly. And it's redrawing lands. Chose not to strip mines. Very interesting choice. Okay, maybe the land tax scared him off. I don't really know. It does get me a little bit further along. So we will land Cestral here and find out what happens. Oh god, this interface could not be crappier. It really couldn't. Like, this actually worked at one time, and they actually managed to find a way to make it crappier. Used to be you just click the cards and they went in your hand. Oh god, I hate Magic Online. I just like Magic that much that I'm willing to deal with this. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to get down non-land sources of mana. But what we're going to do here is we're going to have to get, I think the best option I've got is certainly Gilded Lotus. I'm going to try for that. Yeah, figures. It's always a target. This person's getting really far ahead. But not doing anything too horrible. Just drawing a bunch of lands. What is the land that I want? What is the mana source that I want? It's unfortunate that he's able to get two of them, two strip mines going there. Okay, so I could get. So I had a chance to play Grim Monolith there, and maybe I should have and not vamped, but I don't think that made any sense. I could have played Workshop Monolith, but then I only get one shot at the Workshop here. So I'm going to have to get out of the box that he's putting me in. I could get The problem is Crucible or something like that isn't really helping me. I can hit one land per turn, but he can play, you know, strip mine and a card every turn. So I could take Shop and then Shop into Grim, and then Grim with one floating, and then Grim for a Thran Dynamo. Excuse me, I could take a Thran Dynamo and then make that series of plays. And if I do that, I will have a problem, and the problem is I won't have colored mana. Another option is I could take Coalition Relic, and then I can play Shop, play the Relic, charge it. Opponent's going to strip mine my land, of course, but then I'll be able to play. I'll have up to 3 mana. Then I can play a land, and I can play the Grim Monolith. Charge the Relic again. He's going to kill my land. And then I'll have 1, 2. Yeah, I can get to Fairy down if I get the Coalition Relic. I think that's probably the route I'm going to take. The other option, though, is to take Soul Ring. So if I go Soul Ring, I can go, or even, there's no way, I need to figure out how to get 2 blue if I take the Soul Ring route. I mean, it's what I'd rather have. I don't really see a way to do that. So I think it's going to have to be Relic, and then I basically have to hope that my opponent cannot, then I just have to hope that he can't kill my, no, of course I don't want to. I have to hope that he can't kill my Coalition Relic, because if he can, then I'm probably sunk. Now, if I can get, the next step to really, like, get back in the game would be to get Winter Orb, because, and maybe I should have gone for it there, perhaps. It's a little hard to say. Alright, you just shuffled your strip mine back in. Why in the heck? Life from the Lone, Kozilek, not a combo. Wow, I just got out of prison. That's amazing. Recast a creature, put a 3/3. Okay, sure. Wow, that was interesting. Yeah, you can gain all the life you want, buddy. Alright, I have Ujin as a problem. This is a small problem. These creatures can get bigger and beat me up. I is a big problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can go get Kozilek and then quickly destroy me. Truthfully, everything's a problem right now, so I don't know what the right. God, I hate Magic Online. How many times do I have to mute that before it stays muted? I swear to God. Anyway, yeah, let me see your graveyard. So I have to decide, do I want to push Teferi out into play? I think the answer is yes, and then maybe we'll Vindicate as well. Let's figure this out. Oh, we're certainly going to tax. Right. Well, that helped tremendously. Because like I said, Winter Orb is pretty much our main way to get out of this. Well, we need to put him in the same box that he's been trying to put me in. Okay, so I'll have 1 for artifacts, so I need 5 mana to transmute Muddle the Mixture. But the question is, can I do that with the Teferi? And the answer is yes. Yes, I certainly can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So now what we want to do is transmute. And it's going to take 3 more to transmute, unfortunately. I'm going to be able to do it any other way. I mean, the other option here would be to get Scroll Rack, but I just don't have time. I don't think I have time for Scroll Rack. And this is just a immediate problem solver. Now, long term, my opponent still has a tremendous advantage, of course. But this definitely slows down the Eye of Ujin plan for him. He casts a creature spell. he gets a beast, a non-creature spell, though, he's going to be able to kill its fairy. And we know he has when he's got life from the loam, so can't really do anything about that. But, so it goes. I didn't really see too much of a solution there. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. He just destroyed a land that I couldn't really use. Alright. So we're not going to attack. Oh, we're just going to natural the scroll rack, I guess. Okay, well that's pretty good. If I go for it now... Alright, so I can play a land, I can play scroll rack, I can activate it, and I only have one land that I can fetch up until I can find a way to pick up my land. Or I can just play scroll rack and say go. Or I can charge the relic, and then that gives me options on the next turn. But no, if I play the scroll rack, I'll be using 2 mana and I'll get 2 mana back next turn. If I charge the relic, I'll come up with less than that. So what I can do is I can stack land tax, and then I can activate scroll rack in response. So I'm going to have to actually solve his commander. That's a major issue right now. Obviously, like, it can kill me because of the stupid commander rule that drives me absolutely crazy. Because it's so dumb. Like, I don't see why a person should be rewarded for dealing 21 damage in a format that is designed to be a long format with more damage. I'm going to actually have to draw lands here on play. I am probably dead. Guess I should have played a land. I really wasn't expecting my opponent to be able to play 2 spells last turn. Yeah, I don't see a lot of ways out of this one. I can try to find Swords of Plowshares, I can try to find 2 mana. I think it's got to be Swords of Plowshares. Alright, well, I guess due to retarded commander rule, I guess I lose. Well, that didn't go very well. Alright, having a bit of an issue with my thing, but should be okay now. That's not a good start. I actually have a first time I've lost in about 20, 30 days or so. That's really disappointing. Well, whatever. It happens, I suppose. Nothing I can do about that commander rule. The thing that makes it so bad is that there are commanders that grow very fast and colors that can make them grow very fast, and games can be over almost as fast as they can be in a vintage or a legacy format. It's the reason I don't enjoy it. If I really wanted to play formats that were that fast, then I would play formats that are that fast. I guess it's just sour grapes, though, and I should deal with it. Did my stream get out of sync? Oh, looks like we're right. Anyway, hopefully we can get some more games here. It certainly was. I think the game was certainly winnable. I think I made the wrong decision. I should not have played Scroll Rack. I should have went ahead and just killed this commander. I should have played a land, charged my relic, and then just cast Within Decay on this commander. It would have bought me. It would have caused it to cost 5 mana, but more importantly, it would have taken away all the pump counters on it. That enchantment's pretty gross when combined with commander damage. So, say la vie. Hopefully I get another opponent here. If a game starts up, I'm certainly going to jump in. So, Yeah, that was just, alright, we'll try this player, if it'll let me. I have a number of players, yeah, okay, I have a number of players blocked, and for some reason Magic Online will try to let you join their games. In addition to that, a number of players have me blocked. A lot of people don't want to play against Control. Excuse me. And, or just have really terrible attitudes. Like that guy, for example, seemed to be fine, but frequently if I play a deck like that and I play, say, I don't know, Winter Orb or whatever, and it does lock the game down, players will often just block me. So Fext 667 here must be on that list. I actually were to look. I'm going to tab over and come back to this in a minute. Obviously, it's taken a little while, but if I were to look at account settings, I think it is. Nope, that doesn't help me. Well, I was going to try to look up the number of players that I have blocked. It only shows buddies. Yeah, block list. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, after playing since 2009, it's a lot of players that don't particularly like Control. All right, looks like we get a gaming spot start here. And it's just my luck that I don't know. It was a double mulligan, but it's just no excuses. I just played that really poorly. I really think that it was winnable. So maybe for future reference, this is obviously a great game, especially against like a weak deck like Mono White. Maybe for future reference, what I need to do is play a few games and get warmed up before I. This just isn't a deck that you can just pick up and go with. You have to get a feel for it before for you to really play well, I think. All right, so what do we have here? Useless card. I guess we'll take indestructible. Yeah, I suppose. All right, this unfortunately is going to be a buy for me. Opponent is clearly not playing like a deck that's at all serious, but you can kind of tell that anyway because the opponent's playing Mono White. I mean, I guess you can do something with Mono White, but I don't know what that is. All right, so we're just going to ramp up a little bit and sway pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll just get started. The next turn I can drop the ring, the tutelage, and I can swords if I need to. I figured you would have played this command a lot. Oh, I didn't realize it's only 3 mana. Rather, that it's 3 mana and not 2. For some reason I thought it was 2. So, it's fine. Yep. We'll pay the life and get our enchantment down and see if we need to sword something. Well, all my lightning bolts are not going to deal with these kinds of trade. Ah, there you go. That's alright. Good use of mana there. And from here, like this, I actually kind of feel bad playing decks like this. But what are you going to do? I just wheel slam the Abyss down. Nah, he's playing blue. He's playing white. For 1 more mana, for 6 mana, I can play the Abyss and have a counter to back it up. And I've got my 6 mana on the table already, so we'll just chill out. Yes, damages. Yeah, sure. This guy's really concerned with damage. Not something I particularly focus on. So I probably should have done that in the Oloro attacks first, actually. That would have been more correct. But worked fine. The last game was a game where if I had oh my gosh, off-colored land tax targets, that might have suited me better. But overall, I think it's going to lose more games than it wins. I didn't go. I'm not going to make any changes for that, just because of one game. Now, if I start having if I start seeing issues where consistently you need to tax for black or white, then I may add those basic lands to the deck. But while I do like having more basic lands for tax track, I don't like having more lands in general. So it would have to be a case of cutting lands. I'm not sure that would be very wise, because the deck has been playtested so heavily and the land base is very strong right now. Alright, yep, so he's got nothing. Alright, let's stack this in the correct order. Weirdly enough, I cannot, the Abyss, it won't let me put the Abyss in any order. If I don't have a target, I can't stack the Abyss in any other order other than at the top of the stack. Really why? Okay, well that was nice. Alright, so we'll just put City of Brass. Oops. And we'll take a point damage. I don't want to subject myself. No, I think it's better if I just... Well, let me think this through. What's the best way to spend my mana in this turn? I'm going to try to have counter mana up, so we'll just do it this way. One of the nice things about Seal of Cleansing is that you can do exactly what I just did. Play it in advance and have... it's like having an 8th card in my hand. More importantly, it's like having a 0 mana counter spell that I can cast at any time, since I didn't need the mana anyway. So the next thing to do is fabricate a scroll rack. The reason, if you're wondering why I played a land into the land tax, I've just got the feeling, based on what I'm seeing, that this opponent is not particularly competitive and will not stop playing lands and will allow me to just tax him into the, my way into victory. So even if he did, though, extra mana is good. I'm already drawing 2 cards with that tutelage. So we're going to do this. See, watch, if I try to stack the Abyss, it won't let me. Very weird. That's not actually how that should work either, but as far as I understand. So we're not going to tax right now, but... Alright, we need 5 mana. Let's go fabricate. Excuse me. Right, so now I'm not going to play another land because, the jig is up. I've telegraphed that I want this land for something. But I will drill seal so that I can tax up what's going to make me quit? My twist, probably, which we'll be playing next turn. We're safe on disenchant. You can probably dump the Vindicate too. I mean, Vindicate for 1 land at this point. It means I can't land tax anymore. So we'll Vindicate on top. If we need it. Let's see what's going on over there. Almost scared to have to make this for next turn. Well, you know what? Maybe I just take his hand and save myself a counter spell. I would take the risk of tapping out, but there's absolutely no reason to do that. No, that's foolish. I'm just going to counter whatever he plays now, and then, one of the 6 mana drops, and then I've got Forbid with land tax. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Yeah, the game's completely over. Certainly not an interesting game, but feels good to win after getting my butt handed to me by a random green ridiculous deck. I just say ridiculous because yes, if you draw a Ancient Tomb and a Mox Diamond and Life from the Loam and a Strip Mine in your opening hand, then Azusa Lost But Suckling is actually good. Along with a way to make it attack for 10. I mean, if you don't have the perfect storm of every possible concoction of things that could go right for you and your opponent double mulligans into a slow hand, then the deck is horrible, and should have been, the commander should have been on that by far, like without question. He's a massively superior commander because he generates a ton of mana, and because he can become gigantic on his own without help from the enchant. The name of the game in this format is mana anyway. Am I going to get an opponent? Who's the guy that I just played here? So maybe I can play this guy. I don't know. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alright, hopefully. Alright. Let's see what this guy's got. Okay, yeah, so there's one of those, there's another commander that's like really, really ridiculous. It's a commander that I find quite frustrating in the sense that you don't you don't have to do anything creative or interesting with him. You just basically go all in on life gain, and if that works, you win, and you win fast. And if it doesn't work, then you lose, and you lose fast. And that, to me, isn't a very interesting mechanic at all. It's actually really horrible. Totally not what I play Magic to play. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that would ever cast Show and Tell, ever. But I would play a card like Oath. Only for a different reason. Because I can play counter spells with Oath. Sit around doing nothing for a long time, which is what I like doing. Alright, so, well, I like developing, but let's see, speaking of developing, what's this guy going to reveal here? Double Souls Attendant? How in the world does he have 2 Souls Attendants? He must have revealed it once. I guess that's the only card he has. I guess? I don't really know. But, at any rate, so what do we need to do here? What we need to do is shut him down, and shut him down fast. And the best way to do that, I think, is we need to get one of the newer cards. We have Mana Drain, so we're probably okay. So what I'm going to go do is get Chomp with this. Now it's not ideal because he's got the Skull Clamp over there, but then again I've got a solution for that in hand. So as much as I'd like to kill the Mana Crypt, I'm most likely going to be killing the Skull Clamp so that he can't cycle through a bunch of creatures with the Abyss. It's funny how different you can play a hand when you have one. Yep, when you have Mana Drain. Like normally I would have gone and got Ramp. Okay. Alright, you're going to clamp him. You should. It's crazy, man. Clamp one of your one toughness guys and start drawing cards. What are you going to do with that? I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna wait. I don't care about four damage versus 3. Well, let's see what he's got. Nothing. Okay. In that. Make that. All right. There's no way I'm playing Fabricate here. And unfortunately, he didn't like Vampiric Tutor or something. Because if he had, I could have been in trouble. Because if he had Vampiric Tutored for Strip Mine, I can counter that. Okay, there's the commander. It's not great. 2 mana spell, but buys me time. I need time. Time and mana. 2, 3, 4. I play the Dynamo. 3, 1. I play the Abyss off of that. I really like to draw. I think I didn't. So, what can I do? Let's make sure I do this right. I can fabricate. I could fabricate for Mana Crypt, and then play Crypt into the Abyss. I don't think that makes a terrible amount of sense. I think the play is probably just doing this. and this, and then we'll have him erase that. And hopefully, of course, if he has a disenchant, then this gets a little hairy. But if he has a disenchant, then plan B will be to fetch up a Vedelkin Shackles and hope that that gets me there. And it may actually be the play anyway. Yeah. So we're gonna probably get a Vedelkin Shackles. We're gonna, I think, anticipate casting Teferi, then untapping all 4 permanents. Oh boy. And then fabricate for Shackles, and I can cast it, but I can't take his Rector. This is a real problem. I don't know what the heck. Man, I'm having some wonderful luck today. So. So, what do I do here? It's going to change things a bit. I'm going to top. This is very good right now. Vault's actually not bad either. So I could draw the Rift and bounce the Rector. That leaves me with 2 unused mana. Alternately, is there any other way I can do this? I don't think so. Actually, yeah, there is a way I can do this. A better way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to activate the top, and then in response, we're going to activate the top again to get the Rift. We're going to resolve the top's first activation, and we're going to dump. We're going to move the top. We need to draw the Mana Vault next turn. So, so from here we can rift up the Academy Rector. Only buys a little bit of time, but it does buy some time, and it may buy enough. The reason being that next turn, with the Mana Vault's help, next turn I should be able to fabricate and steal the Rector with Shackles. I think. So, we'll find out. And clearly the play for him is recast Rector. It's kind of a no-brainer. So it's really up to me and my brain to solve this. His is only got one right answer. Alright, so here we're going to go for it. It's a vault. 5, 6, 7. Fairy with the mana left. Okay. Would have liked to have somehow got the 1 power stone into play, but you can't have everything. Alright, so let's go fabricate. Yeah, that was a bit of a puzzle there. Alright, so fabricate, Shackles. 3. Shackles is coming down. Doing ourselves a wreck. We are done. And with any luck, we'll kill that Rector with the Abyss and proc it. Alright. So I don't know what he's got going over there, but so far we've weathered the Skull Clamp, and it looks like we're okay on the Rector. Feels pretty good anyway. Thanks to the Rift, which we found with the top, which was a little desperation play, but worked out okay. I mean, there were a number of possible outs we could have had. Source of Plowshares, Bounce Skull. excuse me. Could have found, excuse me, Tezzeret, and then Tezzeret and the shackles in play, I think. Not sure on that one. I'd have to work it out, but could have found humility. What else could we have found? We could have actually found a disenchant, and potentially destroyed either the abyss or whatever enchantment he went and fetched with Academy Electric. But this will work. Looks like he's deep in the tank. So the Bazooka Bog got a few good cards. Certainly a few things we wouldn't mind having willed back the tutor. Fetch lands. Disenchant would have been nice for the crypt and fabricate, but overall it wasn't too painful. Yeah, good idea. You might want to kill that raptor. I assume he's getting strip mine, but maybe not. Okay, well, if I draw Necropotent, it's going to cast it. I guess that's what that means. Well, I already killed it with the fairy, so. I think I will, actually. No, I don't think so. I've got two fairies on top if I need to, and I really want to play the Land Stone, so all these yield to that. We'll try and untap it. But see, if I did 3-4 and untapped it, then I'd just be tapping it to replay the One Power Stone. Because I need to get some cards back in there. So. Take that. It's pretty good to me. So, yeah, we'll play the Power Stone on the top, and we're done. So we've got 2 mana for Remand, 2 mana for Evolution of Edelkin Shackles, and we can also Sensei Divine on top and set if we want to. And that kind of just depends on whether or not I think he's got something like Ad Nauseam. I don't know how good this guy's deck is. Sure. Shackle 6 care of Solemn Simulacrum. We don't really want to tap mana if we don't have to. I think for the sake of safety, it's really only one mana out of millions is actually, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll spend 2. Snag this guy up. Protect the fairy. If he's got an instant now, I can't remand, but I can answer it, with the full amount of mana that I can bring to bear on the next turn. I'd rather know. Alright. That weird stacking effect is pretty annoying. So if I have a habit of not finishing my thoughts, it's because I've started thinking again, and sometimes it's hard for me to. My brain isn't multi-threaded. Anyway. I'll go ahead and pay for that here because I have no obvious use of the mana and I can get it back anyway with the fairy. But since I can't clearly use it, I might as well. So let's Teferi first and then we'll top. Yeah, there we go. We'll just build our position. Make it stronger and stronger. Because of that, I actually think I'm just going to play a random attack. So the reason I was going to top, but I'll wait till his turn to top. So I have 2 mana for Deprive and then 2 more mana for Remand, and then with 1 mana left I can top. So, and I don't even mind playing the basic land. I try to play as few as possible so that I can get Pack Strat going at some point in any given game. But at the same time, more items are good for Shackles, and I have Deprive to pick it up later if it becomes inconvenient, and I have a way to shuffle it back in my deck, which I'll do. It's kind of interesting that he actually gave me the Solemn Simulacrum, a creature who was just the right size for me to take with Shackles and beat him about the face with it, given that I have the Abyss out and it's going to be particularly hard from the block. Plus there's a Mana Crypt in play. Let's see if I can get him to... was fast enough. All right, well, we were hoping for the concession. We can take a look at our next couple of cards here. So what was most likely to happen is he wasn't going to do anything. We were going to look at these top three cards here, draw a Stoic Rebuttal, and then Teferi into Swords, and then after that, out of the next three, we would have got well and Cryptic. And from there, we're off to the races. So pretty good stuff. So I can get another game going. All right, and then block list or one more list. Another one. Okay. You can tell I play late at night sometimes because these are all the players who, we have mutual blocks going. It's been about 40 minutes. I'll play for a bit longer. I guess that is a drawback to playing late at night, though. I'm not going to get a lot of live watchers, but I have no idea how this stream is going to work out anyway, so. Yeah, and if you're wondering, while we're waiting for somebody, take a look at game history here and format. Is there some way to do this quickly? Uncheck all. Yeah. Well, you can see Commander's about 21,000 games. And let's try date and time. So in this month, in Commander, I had that one loss, and then some of the other losses here were in Cube, where I did so-so. But that really was an outlier. Okay, we'll get here. Always happy not to see a turn one soaring from my opponent. There's no point in leaving a blue mana up, because the Condescend for 0 play is a desperation play to find mana, and not something that I would do with a hand like this. And trying to fake a 1 mana counterspell is less important to me than just playing the type of how so, I could play a land and then Signet, but it makes more sense here to just sit on a counter. The next turn I can play a land and a Signet and also sit on a counter. Provided I play things in the correct order, which I should. So we're most definitely not going to allow him to ramp. To double his mana, or nearly double his mana. He'll go from turn 3 to turn 6 on the next turn if he plays land. It's a little ridiculous. Moat against this guy who makes a bunch of elementals might actually be pretty good. I think we'll just top it under a brainstorm, and then I can decide to get rid of it later if I want to. He's one of those guys that taps all his mana to say he's done. It's absolutely terrible. And so the question is, do I want to? Maybe that was dumb because I can't brainstorm now and then play a talisman. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. I mean, I can brainstorm and play the talisman, but then I can't play a counterspell. So I'm gonna have to not play a talisman. That's a little bit unfortunate. That was a foolish mistake. All right, well, he's gonna concede anyway. So we would have brainstormed into that. So it may have been right to have played it like immediately and then made my decisions from there, but opponent never gave me a chance to find out. Excuse me. I will say that I don't play as well at 11:29 p.m. as I do a bit earlier in the day. That's what we got here. Hey guys, this might be a battle, hopefully. Except he's playing aggro. Particularly big fan of. I don't know, maybe he's playing a control deck with just pressure. An aggro control deck. But I'm not a big fan of a commander like that. It doesn't really draw cards, doesn't really generate value, it just flies like pressure. It is in the right colors though, or some of them. So first turn Signet lets me play Bloodstained Mire and have any of my counter spells ready to go. Yeah, I'll play the Bloodstained still, even though I do the Misty, because I'd rather... I know for a fact I want to get black, since I've already got big white over there. So hopefully he just taps out here. If he taps out, then we're just going to counterspell it, and then we're going to take a turn where we use Muddled Mixture. We didn't do that. And because an aggro deck like this might be playing with Vendilion Click, I'm not going to sack my Bloodstained Mire. Because if I sack it, he can cast Click in response. And then if I were to Mystical Tutor in response to that, after the tutor resolved, then my Mire would resolve and I would shuffle away the card, and that wouldn't work out for me at all. So. Sure, go fetch. Let me guess, Vendilion Click. Man, did I have the read on that or what? Well, unluckily for him, I drew the perfect card to counter that, which will allow me to still have a counter spell. We do not need Yawgmoth Soul at this point. We always need Soul. Every point. Alright, well hopefully he doesn't make me counterspell, because I'd really like to draw that Soul Ring. But if he does, it's not the end of anything. I'd like to draw it so much that I'd be willing to let his commander itself, if that's his play for the turn. Because I think that I can just solve that problem in another way. I think I can transmute Muddled Mixture and fetch, or I can Mystical Tutor, either way, and fetch an answer to that. Ooh, wonderful, we get to draw the Soul Ring. So good. Sure, I'll play Soul Ring. Let's get out of my main phase, my first main. Which is the correct play if you're holding a mana drain, and you're not holding a mana drain, it's still the correct play, because you don't want to tell them you're not holding a mana drain. And the reason you want to do that, if you're holding a mana drain, of course, is that you want to mana drain and get the mana on the next turn, not on your second main phase. You want to get it on the first main phase. Normally. There's exceptions, of course. So normally. Alright, so let's sack these one at a time so he doesn't blow me out with the 3 mana bird that says I can't fetch. We'll get there. Sack this guy. I think what we're going to get is blue-black, and the reason is this gives us triple black for Necro, and we still have double white for any of the cards that require that. And I could fetch here and give him an opening to play something like Venser. I don't see any advantage to that. The funny thing is, Deprive is actually better than Counterspell if he were to play a card on my turn, because I could Deprive and then recast the land, and I don't have the land drop, so that would actually help me to play 2 Counterspells in the same turn. So if he were to have played a Venser, I would have Deprived with the Underground Sea going back to my hand, replayed it, and then still had 2 blue available. Okay, well, he's not doing anything, so go ahead and Mystical. He's got 3 blue mana available, so looks like a good time to do some twisting. Because it's tricky to play a counterspell. It's tricky to play 2 counterspells off 3 blue. One, of course. The other one is questionable. You know, you can do it, but you may not be able to. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to twist for... I think we're going to have to go for 5. Yeah. And then if he counters this, and then I counter back, then that's the 6th card. The counterspell that he takes out of his hand. Oh, you know what? I just realized he's got 4 blue over there. That's not good at all. Not not at all good. So I'm going to deprive it for the same reasons that I stated. I can hit a land drop this turn. Interesting. Oh, he's going to get a ton of colorless, but he's going to be tapped out, so it might be fine. It's never great, but I mean, I was a little aggressive with the mana drain, but I completely like flubbed that, and this is more of that playing late at night stuff. I didn't see command towers producing double blue until it was too late, and as you could tell from the way that I was talking. The correct card for me to get was Mystical Teachers. So yeah, now I'm gonna hurt in a big way because he's got endless mana over there. I mean, he's clearly playing some kind of control. I knew that. And normally, you know, I would go get Winter Orb here and just win. But with the Crucible Delta situation, you can continuously get islands. I have no idea how many he plays, but surely he plays a pretty good number. On the other hand, what I can go get is I can go get, oh, it's crazy. So let's think this through. What can I fetch? How do I fix this very poorly played game? I can muddle into demonic. I gotta think this through. I can muddle into demonic, which will leave me with like 4 mana. Yeah, I think that's the play. I don't like this very much. I think this is very... So what I'm thinking is, I muddle... Oh, you know what? I need is Necropotence. Do I have enough black? 1, 2, 3, 4 mana? 4 black. Do I have enough blue? There's 1 blue, 2 blue. Lets me muddle. When I come up short, I can't demonic and then play Necro. So that does not work. That would have been play. I can muddle into Jace. I mean, and that's okay, but it's easily answerable if he's able to get his commander down, and then probably he'll have other cards that can solve that problem as well. I can muddle into teachings and then just say go, and then use teachings to develop. I could get Copy Artifact and start hitting my line drops. 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Which would let me, it would turn on Stoic and allow me to still counterspell. I'm worried because I'm way behind. So, sorry. Yeah. And I really like on the order. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to, we're gonna have to do something. I guess the base orientation. I could get Dark Confidant, but with the amount of cards he's drawn and given his colors and everything, I don't think that's a very long time to live. I mean, my best option probably still is Winter Orb, and then just make him, and then just fight him over time. Just want to strand cards in his hand and then slowly get like, mana advantage. I think that's got to be the way to go. Or I just don't see any other way. Like, he's going to get 2 mana per turn with Crucible, but I just don't see any other way to save myself this game. And this, I get 4 mana to his 2, and eventually I'll run out of island, I'm sure. So. Meanwhile, he's got 7 cards in hand that hopefully have been effectively mind twisted by the Winter Orb. We'll find out. Oh, he's Yeah, sure, yeah, you can gush. The power of gush in this situation is the land, I suppose. He's most definitely he's playing like, I mean, I haven't seen him play anything that I'm particularly impressed by, but I haven't seen him play anything that I would not play following those colors. I think it all makes perfect sense what he's doing. So can we get our commander down? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can. So I want to get it down right now before he doesn't have enough mana to really counter it. And if he removes it, I can fight that. Meanwhile, my commander can start running me some cards and make up for the fact that I'm ahead on mana and have a way to get ahead on cards. So we're going to try to fight over that. All right, well, that was part 1. Which he's going to play land, and he may play like Oblivion Ring, but if he does, he has to choose between Orb and my commander. And if he targets the commander, then I still got Orb block. If he targets the Orb, then I start building my way out with the commander. Anyways, I certainly had the read, and I figured he'd get the Orb, so. Alright, so we're back in the game at least. Because we have a jam day time to keep up. His always finds land, and ours finds, whatever. Oh, that was amazing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Incredible. And you didn't have a counterspell. Good game. That's it, man. That's game over. Game over, buddy. God, that was a savage top deck. It's just the power of card drawing. I'll take it. That felt good. Alright, well, now I don't feel so bad about the loss to Green earlier. For as badly as I played that game, I think I played this one pretty well. I certainly hope that anybody watching enjoyed that as much as I did. That was a feel-good moment for me. Right, so we'll see what else happens here. But I think that was pretty cool. I called his Vendilion Click, and I also called his Oblivion Ring. Both. I said he would have them before he played them, and that that's what he would play. And when I noticed that he had the 4 blue, I even called the fact that he had 2 counterspells. I wish I had realized that beforehand, but that was foolish. Because in that situation, what I should have done was I should have just fetched up the Mind Twist, that was fine, and then just sat there on counterspells and did nothing and let the mechanics of Magic put pressure on him. Because once he draws 7 cards and he has no more lands to play, he starts mind twisting himself because he has to draw and discard. And so that mechanic puts pressure on him to act, and then actions cause him to spend mana, which I can then fight a counter war over if it's important, and if not, it can reduce his ability to fight the mind twist. So you might think like, oh well, I'll make a play and keep 1 counterspell. I mean, he loses the game. Okay, well I'm not mulliganing this hand. That is a very threatening commander. Moat is certainly not the right answer for that guy. So we'll see how this goes. It's pretty important that I'm going first, I would say. Now the bad thing here is that I'm going to have to fetch Scrubland, is what it looks like. But with any luck, we can take a Soul Ring out of his hand or something powerful like that. Oh. I have no idea what that is. That's garbage. That is also garbage. Well, Imperial Seal is a Soul Ring in turn. Okay, so these both come into play taps. He's not going to be able to get his top out next turn, most likely. Means he's playing a little slow. That definitely gives us some time. Question is, do we Imperial Seal or Impulse? Right, if we're going to do either one, what are we searching for? Oh, I'm doing that one, so let's get his top. Intro is still definitely hurting. That's unfortunate because that's a very good combo tempo in this one. It's going to let him carry one of the 2 cards. So, okay, well that definitely helps. What do we fetch? I think the right answer, as it usually is for us to go ahead and fetch right now. What this lets us do is next turn we can play Scalding Tongue Crypt. We can Teachings for Vampiric, and then we can Vampiric for anything we want. And that will depend on what he does. But I would prefer to get Humility and shut this freaking thing down. Here's one of the only times where I would certainly have activated the top before playing the land. Well, not one of the only times. It's certainly a time. Because you want to, like, I mean, I see what he's doing. He gets to look at 4 cards this way. He gets the bottom, the top card. But if the top card was even remotely useful, then that's wrong. And I think it would have been smarter to. It's 6 1 half dozen the other, but I think it would have been smarter to top first and then put 2 good cards on the top. So that's my thoughts, though. I'm going to. Alright, so my plan here is probably to try to get Humility into play versus Necro. So I'm going to, because we're a ways away from Necro. So we're going to do this and yield. Excuse me. Man, that cough. If I have to, I can Mystical Teachings for Force of Will here. That would be an absolute desperation play, though, because then I would need another land to just get a card in my hand off the Teachings, or Michael play my commander at that point. It's not a good position to be in. On the other hand, yeah. See, if I mystical for Enlightened Tutor and then Enlightened Tutor for Gilded Lotus, I could play Gilded Lotus, and then I can. If this were a counterspell, I would do that because then Gilded Lotus would give me the mana on the next turn to flashback the Teachings and then tutor for the Necropoints, and then from there. But without that option, it could be time to just Mind Twist in here. The problem is if I Mind Twist him, I have no answer for Galeva, and he may not have an answer for Humility, so I think I'd rather just stall. I'm sure he's playing combo. I don't know what kind of combo, but I really don't like this creature coming down and working up my game plan. So. Well, I mean, the other options I fetch up Jace. It's never foolish. Because Jace forces him to remove it. And it gives me a certain amount of control over like how this works out. You know, Jace might actually be better. Let's play to win as opposed to playing not to lose. Because that'll give me a way to put the moat back and then I can impulse it away. Alright, so let's get some life and then find out what happens. I can always yield on the crypt. I wish you could tell the crypt to always flip heads. Alright, there's the always yield. You know, or tails or whatever. Like, I really don't need to do this click a button 100 times a day, just so that it can tell me I lost the flip or I won the flip. Like, that doesn't give me any satisfaction at all. And it doesn't improve my play experience in the slightest. All right. And I don't play a guessing game like this time. I think it'll be tails. No, it's just always heads, and I let statistics do the work for me. Okay, so we can dump the moat. Yawgmoth's Will's looking really good right now. You don't actually need the impulse to shuffle away, the... yeah, we don't need the impulse to shuffle away the cards that we don't want, the moat we don't want, since we have the fetch. So let's develop. More mana makes Will just tastier. And now, as much as it sucks for him to play his commander and exile a few cards from my library, the answer's already in play. So, of course, he has Lightning Bolt in them. I didn't see one earlier, so if he has one, if he's found one, and somehow decided he wanted it was him, then I suppose case will die. The other thing is this color combination sometimes is plays stuff like Wheel of Fortune style combo, and if he is playing, I didn't see any evidence of that, but he could be. And if he is playing that kind of combo, I want to dump my hand as fast as I can because then he's just rewarding me for playing fast, for putting permanents into play. Whereas if I sit on a handful of cards and later game, yeah, it looks like he's playing combo. Alright, what do you got for me? So the nice thing here is I can will, play a land, recast Chase, and play a tutor or a duress. Okay, I shall, sure. Alright, which cards did you exile? Tezzeret? Oh, that sucks. Alright, well, we can will and do some other things then, like kill Tezzeret. You can also do it with two trees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, it's gonna be a little tough. Alright, so I will. Should I have enough mana? Yeah, okay. There's a will, there is a way. Alright, so there's your Yawgmoth's Will. And then Imperial Seal. Let fetch on first, of course. I'm going to play a fetch. With the Imperial Seal. You go get a solution to Ashok, which is almost certainly going to be Vindicate. So I think of a better, cheaper solution. So then we got to get the Vindicate in our hand, but this also lets us shuffle away the Watery Grave, which we don't want. Now, I really would have liked to have plussed up Jason and dumped his top, but it'll have to be another time. So we're going to throw away Watery Grave. We know that. The question is, what else? Is it going to be Fabricate or Trinket? I think it'll be Trinket Mage. Fabricate is basically a Trinket Mage, no body, but more flexibility. So, I'll take that. Right, let's shuffle away the cards we don't want. It's fine to remove that coming in. We need more black. So, I'm planning to now, am I planning to duress him or Vampiric Tutor? I think it's better to duress him at this point. And even further. Let's make sure it starts out the other way. Okay. Some kind of millstone deck, I guess. Alright. If knowledge gets votes or the votes is tied, draws 3 cards. So I don't want him drawing 3 cards, so let's dump that. I think that's fine. I didn't get the Vampiric, like double tutor in the same turn, but I think that's a pretty acceptable series of turns right there. He's got Mesmeric Orb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets the millstone. That's whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. If I want, I can flashback teachings and then just go ahead and disenchant that right away. I'll probably do that. But we'll see what he does. So yeah, hopefully he uses the top like one more time. I'd be willing to +2 Jace in order to kill a top. I think. I think it just gives him too much deck control. Huh. And I think about that Jace sitting in. Oh, he got rid of the orb in the stupid archive. Well, those probably good choices. I didn't really share either one of those cards. But game's probably over now because I have Fabricate. Well, Fabricating Jace. Jace helps. Alright, so let's draw some cards first. Well, that helps. Okay, so we don't need Misty Rainforest. As much as I'd like copy artifacts, I think I'd rather have Crucible. Excuse me. So now we're going to go ahead and fabricate, and since I'm going to actually tap this land, I'm going to leave the Hallowed Fountain to search for it. He did me a favor and tapped out. So. Much as I'd like to mind twist that hand of his over there, there are better things to do with my mana this time, I think. Things like this. Alright, now we can get his hand next turn. If there is a next turn. I mean, I assume it's good. Maybe not, though. He's a trooper. So, at this point, you can't, I mean, if he plays a creature, then of course it just goes back to his hand, and it's almost like vindicating his own plans. He has to play, you know, mountain removal spell on the board. I mean, that's really it. I see no other possible. Yeah, I'll kill that. That was definitely a desperation play. He was searching for a mountain. And Jace was going to tuck that, and we were going to mind twist the 4 cards in his hand. So that's it. Well, there's a guy waiting to play. Interesting. I assume that's fun kind of loser, maybe? Maybe not. Playing Narset. Okay. Well, this should be a challenge. Narset's usually a problem. Hell of a hand over here. So, and I'm going first. So, we'll see. He may not. He's going to have to be pretty quick to beat this hand. But he might be. So it's kind of tempting to just shut Narset down with like Moat, but Moat isn't the safest thing against, you know, those colors. So what I'm going to do is try to shut him down by never letting him get to the 6 mana. We're going to hope he doesn't have a hand like mine, filled with acceleration. Right, where are you? Starts with mana, ends with crypt. Any card better than Soul Ring? In the 40 life format, Mana Crypt is totally better than Soul Ring. And it has the advantages of being unable to be mental misstepped. Slayer's Stronghold, guys. Deck probably is too serious. Well, that's the kind of thing he needs. Although colored mana is probably something he needs more of. Alright. He's got a turn. If he doesn't put up some kind of resistance, it's a pretty lethal mind twist coming his way. Although, I mean, it's possible he could just top deck his way into Narset and I could flub and just draw nothing. I mean, I would definitely get my commander out, so it doesn't seem likely, but You know, it's possible. Oh my gosh, what is that hand? Copy target triggered ability you control. Triggered ability. So you can copy Narset's ability. That's greedy. Like, you shouldn't need. All you need is for Narset to win. You don't actually need to like really win or super win or whatever. All right, so yeah, we'll just play this guy and 5 cards. You say. That's one less mana I get to spend, I guess. Does he just die now? Watch him like pitch him this direction. Target. That would be awesome. But would I even impulse in response to that? I probably wouldn't. I just let it happen. Alright, I'm done. There's assault, so nothing with flashback. Yeah, that's a problem with Narset there as well. I mean, obviously his mana is horrible, but deck's filled with a lot of cards that expect you to be attacking with Narset. And that doesn't work out. Then what do you do? You're going to give me the turn? Still done for the turn? What's going on here? Okay. Some watchers, that's cool. How neat. Other people like to stay up. Alright, so we're winning. We're going to try to hold that line with counterspell. I would like to get a disenchant, but he'll basically disenchant the mana vault for me when he tries to cast a spell and counter it. For all intents and purposes. So, that is a really nice card to see. Because I think with that, well, and given his situation over there, it is 100% safe to start drawing extra cards. It is fine that I can counter this turn. There are a few cards that can punish me here. If this card in his hand is Karn and he plays Ancient Tomb next turn or Mana Crypt, then he could actually wheel slam that, and then this play gets punished a little bit, but I would just, he would have to target Oloro, and then I would just replay it, and then he would have to target Oloro, and that would be the end of that. So, other than that, not a lot punishes this. Not a lot that I can't recover from with permanence, if I had to. Quarter. Probably thinking about ghost quartering his own lands. If he is thinking about it, then he's thinking correctly. He needs colored mana. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, buddy. Sure. I will now have counter mana. Yeah, that was absurd. I don't know what was going on there. But, I mean, clearly the game was over with the mic twist anyway, so. Which, I mean, if you saw the opening hand and you were running through the plays, I assume you probably realized how that game was going to end as quickly as I did. I'm going to reposition myself. Excuse me. Or at least how the potential it had. So just wait for another opponent here. Still stinging from my loss. I do not like losing very much. But if I do lose, I want it to be to somebody who outplays me, and not myself outplaying myself. I was just going through my results recently. Yeah, that is the only loss in Commander for the week, I think. Yeah, for the week. I mean, I've been having a really tough time in Legacy. You know, 3 losses for a win here, and there's another win over there. But I started out with 1,000 play points because in the Legacy, so I played the Vintage Cube and I had like 300 play points, and I won like crazy because Vintage is my deal. And I took my Vintage with Vintage Cube. I took my play points up to. This is a little sketchy. I took my play points up to 1,000, and Legacy bumped them down to 500. So. This has like nothing good about this hand. It just I mean, it has a ton of potential, but without like a tutor or a lotus, I don't see this hand going anywhere. But if it draws one of those cards, then it's incredible. I don't know how much time I have against this color combination. I think it's honestly a mulligan and do a more reliable. Oh boy, that's not good. I'd like a more reliable hand. Maybe with the scry I can get to a second land and then remand my way into a. And then I'm gonna have to try. Oh, and I'm going second. Well, I do get another card to look at. I guess that's okay. I don't see it that way though. Yeah, see, the other hand I have is too slow, and this hand may not be, like, it just may not. If it doesn't come together quickly, then this hand is just dead. Draw a white. Ha! Okay. Well, I still would have liked to have gone first. I would have played an island and then played that Fuzzy Strand anyway. This will work. That might give me enough time to keep his commander off the border. Oh my gosh. Never mind. Well, he can't play his commander, I guess. Oh god. This is a bad situation. What we do is try to play it out. Let's see how this works out. And that fixes the mulligan. So the question here is, what's the play? What are we going to draw first of all? Huh. So, I mean, he's definitely playing, well, he definitely could play his commander next turn. And then I could remand it. Or I can try to catch up on mana. But if he has a counter here, then that just puts me even further behind. Probably in a losing position. I don't really think that's the play. I think we're going to have to just do this and try to remand. Especially with the Spell Pierce, because that lets me follow up with a Signet and hold the Spell Pierce. So I won't be able to pierce the commander, but the main thing will be so next turn I get 4 mana down, and on the turn where I have 5 mana I cast 2 mana. Hopefully. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's not your commander. Maybe I kill a Lotus Petal here too. That'd be alright. Sure, you can have a bunch of dogs. I do not care about that. Not at all. But go ahead and cast another instant or sorcery for me. We should do that. Interesting. I might actually have a target for Spellcurse. No? Alright. I'm going to try to pierce on my turn. He's going to give me a pierce target on my turn. Okay. So I may not play the Signet here. Well, if I play the Signet and he plays the Lotus Petal, you know, he sacks the Lotus Petal and then I counter back with Pierce. That's pretty acceptable. The question is if he plays a commander, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I remand it, and he tries to counter it, and then I pierce that. Is that acceptable? I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think that I would rather just play the Signet. First off, he may not even have a counter here, so I don't want to outplay myself. But secondly, it's a 2-for-1, and Pierce may not be good later, so If he played a counter there and then I pierce it, it's a 2 for 1. Like he loses a loader's pedal plus the counter. So depending on how he taps his mana, sure. Do it away, my friend. Let's see what he does with his graveyard. Couple of lands, that's unfortunate for me. He's down to 1 card in hand though. Maybe he's not going to go for his commander. Maybe he feels like that's enough pressure. I don't know how, but against the wall? Not quite. Oh yeah, he's playing it real cautious. So I'm pretty sure the last card in his hand is a counter. If he had something he could do with his mana, he probably would have done it. I think we're just going to keep hitting our land drops and pass, especially with the second counter in our hand. Because what I'm afraid of is he's going to wheel a fortune or time twister or something along those lines. Those colors are pretty frequently. Like this is usually combo city over here. It's either Necropotence, Wheel of Fortunes, or something like that. So we really don't want to screw around with that. What we want is to get that humility on the table first off. Sack your lotus pedal while you're at it. Play a big spell. Why don't you do that for me? Ever-flowing chalice. Kick 3 times. I think the answer to this is going to be, I think it's your man time. Because this may tempt him to either counter to resolve it, or put it back in his hand and play it on a 1 kick. Either way, without that 3 mana, I can play the humility and a spell curse in his turn, so I'm cool with that. Also, I know that one of the cards in his hand is basically a non-starter. It's nothing to worry about. So I only have, at this time, as far as I can tell, 1 card to be concerned with. Because once humility is in play, his commander gets off that list of things I have to be concerned with. So, Crucible is really nice there. It gives me a decent follow-up once I get the setup in play. Okay. Let's get through our main. And excuse me, correctly. Start it again. All right, my big play. All right. Had the read on this one. Just knew it was a counter spell. The way he was playing it, just all signs indicated he had a counter. So he did me a big favor by tapping a bunch of mana there. I have no play, and this game could go long, so I'm going to yield, even though that telegraphs a little bit. But on the other hand, the information it tells him is that I don't have a play, which means he may feel like I don't have any instance in my hand. He may feel like I don't have a counter spell, so kind of want him to have that feeling, since I do. Always want him to. I don't ever want it to be obvious. I never want my opponent to be able to decide. This was another case though where Spell Curse, which is one of the newer cards, really came in handy. And exactly why it's in the deck. It's just I don't need to sell Spell Curse, but so what did he dump? Chalice and a Ritual. So he clearly does not need. I assume he's playing Storm or something along those lines. I really just hope he doesn't refill his hand here, because if he doesn't, then he'll probably set. We have card advantage mechanics. Oh god. How's the wreck? Okay, so he's all in on me. How's the wreck? Not all in. So that's what he kept. Okay. I don't know what just happened right there. There's my son. And their dog. Weird. I wonder if it's just too much. The machine just couldn't handle running. Running everything at once. Well, I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to that campus. It's good. Oh, magic on again. Or try to, because it's like the curse of magic online. You can never remember it properly. Okay. My turn. Play browse rec. I get to draw a card. This is weird. Cephalid Coliseum. Exactly what it's in here for. But it's a little bit early for that to be useless. One of these new cards again. Field. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to fetch whatever stay muted. I hate Magic Online with a passion. This freaking program is horrible. Anyway, so the thought is what I want to do is I want to get 5 mana next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll have a counter spell. I'll have an extra land in case he drew a strip mine, and or uses Ral's Rec. And then what I'll do is I'm going to play Tezzeret. I'm just going to fetch for 4, and I'm going to go ahead and grab myself Well of Lost Dreams. Can I do anything about that? This is like my biggest frustration with Magic Online. I just need to fire whoever made this, honestly, whoever made this freaking game, or this interface. I spent, I think, a grand total of like $10 or $15 on Magic Online since they transitioned, because I hate it and I'm boycotting it. Before they transitioned, well, I mean, I bought everything you can see here, so you can imagine. Just, yeah, sure. 21 turns in there. Yeah, get another one. So I could fetch Scroll Rack and just get like right away, but I think I'm better off getting things going with the Well of Lost Dreams. Alright, so we've got to keep in mind that there are only 3 more islands to fetch, but that's plenty. So okay. You obviously realized we can use Ral's Rec to pressure my mana base before we cast the spell, but it's just not gonna. Let's just make sure that 4 mana is exactly what we want. And the best way to do that is just to go in here and open the deck back up. Kind of glance through. I mean, I'm about certain that it is, but yeah, because I can't fetch Shackles and Protect. Tezzeret can't fetch Shackles and Protect. I'll go for Incon. There's nothing else to copy. That's the way to go. Incidentally, this is why Well is still in the deck, by the way, because, well, I mean, it's a very powerful effect, but sometimes it's a little slow. However, the ability to use Tezzeret to fetch a permanent Ancestral Recall every turn for a low price of 2 mana is just too good to pass up. So, yep, sure, I'll fill it in. Yeah, I don't know how it's carrying out. It's nothing that I can't counter like Kozilek. I don't want him to draw 4 cards. Yeah, he just has a hard on for turn double, taking extra turns. And I think that's too much damage, so we'll say no. So he may get up to 5 extra turns. If he were to get 5, 6, I would die. So there's no point in worrying about touch lines here. Oh my god, I think you magic on line with a passion. That noise is so annoying. Post view, what is that? Well, that's muted too. I just can't do anything about it. So I don't always yield to this, and the reason is that sometimes you want to stack card drawing with it. In particular, you want to stack like tutors. So I'm going to do those in the there we go. So I could. All right, now I'm in a bit of a question mark. I could. Bowser Wreck is kind of card drawing. If it goes off and he wins too many flips. So I can try to fight that with, I could bounce it and then set him way back. Or I can wait and see if he's greedy. If he doesn't activate it right away. I can't really lose, even if he got 5 flips, provided that the 5 cards he would draw don't just win the game for him. Just because Cryptic Command could tap all these guys and find return. I mean, I wouldn't lose like right away or anything. It's just a matter of how much risk am I willing to take? I have Disenchant in case he gets like something crazy. I think I'm willing to risk it. It's a kind of a judgment call here. I think he made +1 though. Rao. I'm not really sure what he's going to do. If he puts a nasty sorcery on the stack, okay, yeah, so he's going to go for the coin flip. All right, do your thing. How many does he win? Oh, God, I hate, this is just like the worst mechanic in the world. Are you kidding me? 4 turns in a row? God, this mechanic is just such, it's just so dumb. All right, a bunch of random. I mean, that statistically unlikely. I mean, I figured he would get like a couple, 4. All right. Well, couplets and dig pretty far. He may be digging up lands. He's got 3 more turns after this. I can counter that, tap all his guys, prevent 6 damage. I don't need to draw extra cards because I've got the well. I think that's play before he gets further. Like he's gonna get too deep into his deck. Okay, well, couldn't stop that. I don't know. Maybe the play was to bounce Rel. It's really hard to tell. I don't know. This is what I hate about, like, I know I don't really have the best luck when it comes to these types of things, and I maybe, but that seems too superstitious to make decisions based on that. I'm certainly under a hell of a lot of pressure. I don't know. I guess I should have. I guess the right play was to bounce it. I mean, in hindsight. I would normally just enchant a soul ring, but yeah, there we go. There will surely be targets. Like that. I was worried that he might have played like a Sword of Fire. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you can draw the extra card. You're going to throw it away to. You're going to put the top in your hand now and throw it away to reforge the soul. So I think that's probably okay. No, I guess you stacked it in the order. Okay, well that was wise. You're right. Now, having tapped my mana the way that I did, if I drew a Terminus here, the odds are horrible that that would happen, but if I were to have drawn a Terminus here, I wouldn't be able to play it. I could have sacked this for blue and then left the white mana untapped. What's he tutoring for? Casting Flames? Does he have another? Well, the question is, does he have another turn coming, and can I do anything about it? And frankly, can I do anything about the cards that are killing me? And the answer appears to be no. Ritual, no. I'm probably dead. I definitely played this game incorrectly. Alright. Well, that's what you get when you make bad decisions in these games. I'm going to scoop that one up. Chalk that up to not. I don't know, man. Ralzarek is so frustrating to me. I've seen people flip coins and flip the exact opposite. One extra turn and then nothing. I guess I was just too greedy there. That was stupid. All I had to do was bounce Ralzarek, and then I would have drawn so many extra cards with the well. By the time he would have got a chance to pop that off, I would have already won. That was just greedy and dumb. So I pay the price for being greedy and dumb. And the price is death. Unfortunately, I get to go second again, or I get to go second even though I lost. That's just the way this format goes. But I'm glad he's replaying me. So I won the first game, he won the second game. I mean, I'm on track to win the third game, so let's see how it plays out. I'm going to lead off with Islands, hard to disturb mine. Next card will be City of Brass, most likely, because I want to save the fetch, if I can save it. I don't care too much about the damage, but I want to have flexibility of mana, so I want to get the extra 3-4 land in play. Aqueduct is a powerful card if he doesn't get punished for it. I do not have a hand to punish him for it right now. So we'll just have to chill out. Problem, of course, is that he's going to get to 4-9 before I am. He's definitely getting 4-9 before I am now. Assume it's going to be more than that. Actually, I just realized I had to put a delay on my stream, some kind of a delay, just because, well, frankly, it is very easy to, it would be very easy for someone to watch and see exactly what's in my hand. Someday I'm going to catch whatever that damn sound effect is, and I'm going to mute it. I mean, I'm like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football here. Tundra or underground? Tundra more important. Because I don't want to cast a Pride because of the chase in my hand, so I'm going to play this fullback. I would really, if I have to counter, I'd prefer to force and then try chase. Wow, Thespian Sage copying Aqueduct, that's so good. It's gross. Thespian Sage is an interesting, Sage is an interesting card that I really ought to consider trying out in this deck. It's so low cost for, it's a low cost, low benefit, unless something like that happens. Alright, so what do we want to put away? I'm going to play these two cards. I'm going to put away everything else. I'm going to put away as many cards as possible. Okay, good. We can shuffle away the Colosseum with the Thoughtseize. We don't need Well of Lost Dreams. Teachings is a bit slow. We'll go for the Deprive. Alright, so we were planning on playing Jace. But the plan has just changed. Because we can make decisions. Hopefully better decisions. Drain. Seems to me that might not be okay. Alright, so what are the ramifications? If I fight over this, I don't really think I can afford to. What I'm trying to do is, I can either get Crypt or 2. I'm going to get Crypt in case I play a 5. God, that's awful. So I should have let off with Thoughtseize pre-attack phase, I think, and then moved into my next attack phase because it's so cheap. But I think that's okay. Alright, so we've got a free mana. Not super painful. This is red. I guess you could have copied my civic brass if you wanted to. What's the tap this? Yeah, you do. Cards like that are just not very good. Try any kind of. I thought he might be done. Okay, so we get Jace down, but we're really hoping if we find a 2, 3, 4, we'll have 2 mana left. So what we want to do is find ourselves a blue card. With Jace. Strip Mine wouldn't suck either. Or Wasteland. Thinking about forcing that? I could twist the rest of his cards out of his hand, and then from there, he plays Commander probably, and then I'll probably play Jace and bounce it, and then we get into this weird little game where that happens a few times before I actually get a chance to activate Jace. Because at that point I have force to roll up. I don't really like that line. Go for Jace. Okay, there we go. Find me a blue card. No. Oh, and which orb will do. Quite nicely so. Land on top of it. Alright, when an orb will have to do. I think that's actually amazing. Okay. That works. I was hoping for a blue spell, but I'll settle for an orb. An orb is not great, but it does make my choice of getting the Mana Crypt over the Ancient Tomb a lot better. Because sometimes when you just need to, when you have no land drop and you're trying to ramp by 2, Ancient Tomb can be better than Mana Crypt because it doesn't telegraph if you have no land drop. And it lets you use, playing land is a resource that you get every turn. So if you later get 2 lands in your hand, you can only play one at a time, right? So like it's not worthwhile to waste that opportunity if you can help it. So I'll play Tomb over Crypt sometimes, but I was anticipating picking up an island and replaying it, so that's why I took the Crypt. However, this workshop was much better, and it let me put the island back in the deck, which is cool too. All right, so now we want that. Always yield on the Crypt, so we're in a decent spot here. Now, if we don't hit a blue card, we'll be able to play a land and still then hardcast Force the Will. But I'd really like to grab a blue card and a land here is what I'd like to find. So with that in mind, I know that the top card is not a land, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch right away. We'll fetch. I'm planning to tap my mana, so I think we'll actually fetch a basic. Because I'm going to tap it anyway, I'd rather not. Okay, we did not find a blue card. This is pretty funky, but we did find a Wasteland, which is pretty awesome. So I just played a land. I can't do that. So I can sit on Force the Will, and I think that's the play. I don't know, though. He's tapped low. Now let's push him. See what he's got. Aiming for this? Because if he does, this will at least tap 2 more of his mana. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's excellent. So now if he draws some kind of Wheel of Fortune effect, we'll put the Force Will and the Humility back on top of the deck at this roll. Otherwise, it just lands there. So yeah, you get this one. Your commander. So looks like you're done for the turn. Okay, so now shut the commander down, and then we should be in business. And then I could play Force of Will, but why Why sit on Force of Will when I can just shut his commander down for good? So I think what I'm going to do here is save. This card on the bottom, absolutely not. You can have that. No, you won't tap. Nah, just kidding. I'm going to take it. I don't have to take it now, so because I already know that the next card, the card on top of his deck is just another red source. So if I killed that, if I were to strip that, it wouldn't do me any good. And I may actually want to use this mana, so until I know that it's going to be useful, I'm not going to strip. For example, here, I actually get 5 mana, and I can cast my Force of Will. So let's go back to Jason. I only Jaced there because I didn't have any way to do anything with the Force. Okay, so I am in a weird spot. I can't exactly can hard cast Force, or I can cast Ponder, but I can't really do both too well. I think we're okay for now. I did give up the ability to know what he's drawing, but I'm rebuilding my hand, and I'll keep doing that as quickly as I can. It should be fine. When I lose life, sure. That might actually help me out. You can control which cards get milled with my City of Brass. It's kind of awesome, actually. I can't believe I lost it. Oh yeah, I moved my mana card for that. Awesome. Yay, thank you. I didn't want those cards. It's so cool. Okay. Well, Spell Pierce has no value other than as a Force of Will. So Ponder's the same thing though. And I guess he has like super expensive cards. So well, I don't really need either one particularly. I think we're just going to dump. Yeah. Yeah, we can dump Ponder and Pierce, and then Mindcrank will possibly take them. I just have to be careful about mystical tutoring. I got to think it through, because could mystical for like the nah, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the card I probably should mystical for is the Optimal Swirl. But I have to let Mindcrank resolve before I do that. I'm going to close this commander. It's pretty obvious you know what that is. Ah, speak of the devil. Do I want that mana? Or do I just want to model that? If I take that mana, can I do anything with it? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm not going to hurt. Okay, yeah. I think that was a good time to scoop out. So we're just gonna get, it's just gonna get more and more. Like, Jace obviously like does what he does. I think the card for me to get here actually, in retrospect, it probably was Demonic Tutor. I probably, in fact, I use that mana drain. So what we do is we resolve the coin flip, and then what I do is I untap, like, say, island. I mystical tutor off the island for Demonic. And I draw a card, and then I have 3 mana. So I demonic, leaving the 2 mana, and then tap Crypt in the Wasteland, and cast Gilded Lotus. And then with Gilded Lotus in play, the Winter Orb is no longer really affecting me. And from there, then we just build up. And go for the win using Jace, I think. At any rate, it was a good fun game and a nice closer to the series of 3. I think what I'll do is play for maybe another 15 minutes and then call it. Anyone's still on. There we get 3 folks watching. Well, maybe I'll play a little longer. We'll see. If I start making more and more errors, mental mistakes, and just getting worse and worse, then I will call it in at that point. I've already made a few, and it's cost me a few games, but once I get real tired, then I've learned, like, I was looking at, all those losses in Legacy. Well, a big chunk of them were at like 3 a.m. or something crazy when I had no business playing at all in the first place. Alright, so here we go. That being said, I have a big chunk of them during the day too. It's a hard format. They took all the counterspells out of Legacy draft. Like, well, not all of them, but they took so many out, and then people, of course, are drafting them because who wants to lose to, Natural Order and all the other busted things you can do in Legacy. All right. Because nobody wants to lose that stuff. This is an interesting situation. I don't know what he's going to play next turn, but I'd actually rather be geared up for that than try to like accelerate. Because what I can do is, now I can remand, but I also can Vampiric Tutor. And if I vamp, considering that I can play a shop and then play a Grim Monolith off the shop with 1 floating, and then that's 3, 5, 6, up to 6 mana. I can even copy something, so yeah, that was very cool. And because I can get so much mana, he seems to be having a bit of a problem over there. Let's compound his problems and go for just an instant. I had been planning, I was thinking about like Gilded Lotus, copy the Lotus, that kind of thing, and then try to use my commander to refill my hand. But I think I think if I could just push for the concession here, I think it's probably stronger. So, all right. This guy got 1 floating, so I might as well make a solar. Alright, 2, 5, and black. What do you got over there? I can't blame him. I would have kept that in too. But yeah, that was pretty nice. Nothing with flashback or dredge. Nothing comes into play if he plays a land or anything like that. Good stuff. I mean, it might have been. I could have waited, because if he keeps not drawing lands. Oh well, never mind. This is tap that now. I already know that's the play. So 100%. That sucks. Risky key. But yeah, I figured it made more sense to just push, like, go for the twist now. And if he doesn't draw land, he can't win anyway. So. That was nice. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there any other way I can do this? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, let's have now. All right. Yeah. Well, if you were annoyed before, my friend. Prepare to be more than annoyed. You can deal with just a small. How about that? Excuse me. I don't know how many forests this guy plays, but he's got 89, 88 cards in his deck. So let's say he plays 20. That's only 20 in 80 chances. Doesn't sound like. Like in my case, every single land except, well, I have like 2 colorless, 3 colorless, 2 blue blacks, but just about every land I have produces blue, and it's because I play so few lands. You know, I don't even care about the damage. It's like when he flips, I don't have to hear that noise. That screech. Also, I should have fetched white here. Sure. In case, you want to play a creature or anything. I don't know why I didn't get the scoop here. I also don't know why I didn't get white. I should have gotten a white source and then just played my commander. But, it's fine. One will come up. It's just little things like that. Those are the late night mistakes. Well, he doesn't exactly have his green. So, notice I always, like, doesn't matter right now, but I always stack the mana crypt underneath the life gain. See, cruel, not so much. I just like games to be over when they should be over. What's the right way to do this? I think the right way to do this is to cast it with the Grim Monolith. Alright. I don't want to be rude. I just hope that he plays a bit quicker. Or concedes a bit sooner. What can he possibly be imagining? Okay, let's see. What could get him out of this? Land, Sylvan Library, and then he starts paying. Yeah, I do not care. What's in your hand? It's not going to do anything. I mean, what could possibly get him out of that situation? Land Sylvan, and then I just Karn it. I mean, there's nothing. There's no outs for him. Could play land Life from the Loam. I mean, this is assuming I didn't have a counter spell. If he had land Life from the Loam and he got some lands, what would happen? Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of much. We'd have to have like land exploration, another land, Life from the Loam, and then and then that way he could get ahead of Karn. I mean, that's some pretty convoluted stuff. And we'd have to wonder why he was holding the forest in the first place. This makes no sense. After that was all done, he would have had to answer Karn, my commander, and the shackles. I'm glad he scooped. Alright. Rematch. Same guy, I guess. Maybe this time it will be better for him. I have a feeling it won't be, though. My hand's pretty gassy. Well. Gassy? That makes it sound like it's an old man who eats too many burritos. My hand is full of gas. He's going to race out the gates quickly. But perhaps he will do the same. Little scrapper. Oh, nice anti-soaring attack. Not optimal, not awesome, but acceptable. Well, I guess he gets to kill my soaring, but not before it does its dirty work. He's a pretty sweet top deck player. This will at least tie up a little bit of his mana as well. I guess Scrapper makes sense in light of the fact that his commander wants creatures to die. I'm going to stop chatting just in the hopes that it will get this game done quicker. So I kind of want to, so I have a couple options here. I wonder, that is absolutely insane. Do not attack me right now. That's about as bad as it gets. Anyway, I wonder what I should tutor for. I assume he's not going to screw up and he's going to kill my Soul Ring. I think then I tutor for Crypt and then just play Crypt with Mando. And then start using, fetches and stuff. But what in the world is he doing? He used the Scrapper right away, not at the end of my turn. Not after I untap. That's craziness. So I'll take a free look where Sensei's doing on top. Thank you. Okay, that's interesting. We don't need a land. It's funny, but I could take the Karn. You know what? I think I might take the Karn and the Trinket Range. Alright, so how do I do this? Okay, so yet again, I've got to use tricks. We're going to stack this, and then we're going to draw a card. It's still my upkeep, so we're going to resolve that, and we're going to dump top. And we're going to draw a card. Okay, so I really wanted demonic for yeah, I think we're going to go with Crypt. And then Trinket. And then go to it. This uses ability. That's why I'm playing. Bolt. Weissman. Okay, so you can scry. That's fine with me. So the blocker action might come in handy. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't quite have enough. I think we're just going to go this route. So I could just play the Lotus, right? And then play my commander. So that way Karn's kind of protected. But I think I'm just going to pressure with Karn. We've got Trinket to protect Karn. If he wants to use removal in order to kill Karn, I mean, that's okay. Not great. I really don't want him to do that. But this way, it's very hard for him to play his commander next turn. Well, he can, but what he wanted to do was play his commander and then sack something, start building up experience counters, and now he can't. If he does do the play of land commander, then of course I have the option to just Karn it off the board if I want to. Or I go hand and then he's in a bit of a spot because that option to do that kind of thing is reduced. Cycling the land right here is not not too good. Oh, this cough of mine. How I hate it. Probably only hate more than that. Magic online. Lately. I don't know if it's something about this weather or what. Anyway. Well, what I'm going to do, attack Karn with both is really the only right answer. Well, maybe attack with the 2-3. There's no point sending anyone. I wasn't planning on minus 3. I wasn't planning on doing the minus effect anyway. See, and then this window pops up right on top of my audio, so I've got to move the audio, I don't know, over here. Let's see if I can figure out, because I'm going to get another coin flip. Alright, so let's see if I can hit OK and catch this thing. Enter. No. Okay. That at all. Alright, well, there's clearly nothing I can do about it. I'm going to stop trying to dork with that. More of that Magic Online craziness. So let's start pressuring his hand. We've got the Lotus, we've got a counter spell ready to go. I may choose to block, depending on if he had something funky like an equipment card, and I would just block and then exile its creature. So I'm not going to attack with Trinket Mage. Plus, dealing 40 damage, not exactly how I plan to win. Not sure why anybody ever plans to win that way, other than maybe Edric. And ultimately, even Edric really only plans to win by concession. It's obvious that it's in complete control. The life is a side effect of how it gets there. So what's this play? Maelstrom Boss? No. Nothing like it. Baron. Even Father. I just don't care. Yeah, you can have that. I'm just going to assume it's got nothing else. Sure, I'm going to go hand anyway. He's almost down to nothing. When you can take 50% of your opponent's hand away with a single play, it's probably a good idea to do that. Alright, if you would please continue your turn, I will continue more damage. And thunder. So this is the reason for not blocking, but of course, the reason is giving information. Let me make sure I understand that card correctly. So yeah, 2, let's convert it. And what we'll do is we'll play that and the Confluence. This way, if he has disenchant on Lotus, I can just let it resolve, and then I still have my land available. But so now I can start hitting lands again. Exile, really good. Wind Tower. Nothing too good there. As far as I can tell, he doesn't have access to black, so that's the main thing. We'll minus Karn if he gets any black mana at all. There's a bunch of nothing. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm playing against like somebody's draft deck. I'm not, like, this is no insult to the guy. It's where his collection is probably at. It's clearly just, this isn't, these aren't the games I'm looking for. So, yeah. Nothing real good going for him here. We're just gonna block, and then just wants to sack a creature. Drinking Mage still went card for card. And he has less creatures to do it with. Probably sacking this guy, the wood guy. Yep. You just try once. Oh, what the heck? Sack the other creature? Why don't you sack the one? Why don't you sack the one that was in front of the wall? Don't really understand. Yeah, sure. Sure. You know what? I'm gonna always yield to that thing. I would normally not do that because I could Swords to Polishers in response, keep him from getting too much life. On the other hand, who really cares? Like, seriously. And the effect on the clock is actually probably more meaningful than anything. So, but in other circumstances, if I were attacking and life looked like it would matter, then I wouldn't make that choice. Alright, so we're always going to yield to that, but we're not going to always yield to the card draw because we'd like to be able to respond. We don't want to respond to the life gain, but we may want to respond to the card draw at some point. Not that I know. And there's absolutely no reason. No reason not to pay for the untap. Okay. One card in hand. All these options away. Definitely do that, and we'll deal with this in a minute. There's absolutely no reason to swing here. Where did I get with Connie? Ah, such junk. Normally I get, like, I don't know, meaningful cards. And then I can just restart the game with Connie and that way. This is kind of funny. I could remand that back to his hand and then con it out of his hand. I'd actually do that. I'd like to hit his swamp, but I think I'd prefer to save the mana pain, honestly. Right back to hand, sir. Oh, man. Kind of hard to tell with this Shara Moon. Turn. nothing until end of time. Yeah, all right. Well, forbid, drawing 2 cards per turn, and Karn. It's a permanent lock. Oops. You put it. Why did he put it in? What the? I should pay more attention. All right. Well, whatever. I would have hit his swamp right there. Okay. That's my bad. Excuse me. You've just watched the mistakes like compound the clock. It's like Armageddon clock from Magic, except the Armageddon is my brain exploding. Wait, zombies in play. That to happen. Let me just see if I show him the forbid if he'll give up. So forbid. Yes, no. I have enough time with the card. I could probably start attacking with my commander. I'm going to take that swamp out. First. I'm leaving the saccharine here because I want to. Okay. For exactly that reason. Because it gives me flexibility. Right. So we'll hold control. Saccharine on the stack. Add tide to the stack. Have ourselves a hollow fountain and a goblet shrine. The intention of throwing the goblet shrine away. Oh no, not done. What in the God, dog. Not that that matters, but jeez. Mistake after mistake. I don't even need to tap on this. This is draw more. I'm going to play a land. Man, I can't believe I just killed my own mana. That was just way to turn a good play into a dumb one. You know, I could ultimate fairy, I guess. I can imagine some karmas going off the turn. That's everything beautiful. Well, I guess he's not the kind of player who's going to give up, so I'll have to take it another route. And just remove this guy and kill him now. Drawing a billion cards. I'll take that. Away. Where's was he banking on that guy to win the game for him? I don't really know. Well, I'm making mistakes. I've lost a viewer that I had, so I think I'm about ready to wrap it up. It was a pretty decent night, interesting anyway. It was really nice that I did get a pretty serious challenge from the blue black red deck, although I think it was very winnable. I also got not exactly a challenge from the mono green god draw versus my mulligan. I think that was just a series of mistakes and good luck and bad luck. No No slam on the other guy's deck, really. Just, I honestly think that was perfectly winnable. I don't really consider it to have been a big challenge. I consider it to have been a big error on my part. So one mistake and one serious contender, and a pretty good night, all in all. And I think that'll wrap it up. It's my first video and my first live video, so I hope whoever's watching enjoyed themselves and anyone who sees this after the fact. Thanks very much for checking out my channel. I'll see you next time. I will be doing more, most likely. Um, Monday through Thursday are the best days for me. I may do some in between on the weekends, but the weekends are when I spend time with my family and often have more important things going on. So those will be kind of bonuses and they'll be hit or miss. Other than that, you can probably look for me in the evenings, sometime around 8 o'clock Pacific, Monday through Thursday. And I'll probably be playing for a couple of hours at least, anywhere from 8 o'clock to midnight, most likely. Tonight was an exception because I actually don't work tomorrow, so I got to stay up a little later. All right, well, that's it. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. How do I stop this thing?